You are now tuned in to the #1 podcast in the world. Music, sports, video games, and culture. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the host of our show, Mr. Eli.
Welcome to another episode of Disabled is Able the podcast with Fredy and Eli.
Yep.
Let's clap that up. Let's get that started right away. We are excited to be back. This is our NBA special.
This is our NBA special. This is week 2 that we've been doing this.
Yes, we are trying to be extremely consistent. Bear with us with some of the technical doodads that we have to get out of the way. Yes?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work. I like that. I'm going to clap that up on that. Teamwork makes the dream work. Yep.
In the studio cooking
Cooking
up the raps.
Cooking it up. So, NBA is starting to cook up. But before we get into that,
We're going to get all the other stuff out the way real quick.
Honorable mentions.
honorable mentions, we call this housework.
Yeah.
Let's do some housework.
Yeah.
So, what's the deal with The Last Dance?
So The Last Dance came out in May.
In May.
There was 2 episodes for 5 weeks.
Yeah,
Each
great
week,
series.
You know, great series.
Build the hype.
Right, because we was in the quarantine.
Yes.
And we didn't have no sports. And then I just, over the weekend, we watched it again just to pick up some more doodads.
Some nuances that you missed the first
Right.
time.
And I realized, that last year, Dennis Rodman was a freaking rock star.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He was a rock star. He left the game twice. He needed to go on vacation.
Yeah.
He asked Phil for a vacation and went to Vegas. And Phil was like, yo, can you get here in 72 hours? And Michael was like,
all I need is 48.
all I need is 48. But Michael was like, yo, we ain't seeing him again.
Yeah. That whole process was a little.
But like, meaning like you could never do that in this day and time.
Yeah.
No, but what it showed was that Phil Jackson recognized, first of all, how important Dennis Rodman was. Right? Because he did all the dirty work. He was never a volume shooter.
Right.
So he didn't need.
He's not going to give you 20.
Right, but he'd give you 20 rebounds.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And he would defend the best player. See, Mike didn't want people clashing to take up his shots. Mike is a volume shooter.
Right.
So Phil Jackson, got to give him credit. He knew no matter how off the rails Dennis Rodman is, not only is he a rock star, he was receiving more fame and fortune than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, because of the hair.
Yes.
The piercings.
The celebrities he was dating, like Madonna.
Right.
And whatnot.
Yeah. The WWE wrestling.
Yeah,
like,
he
he was like with the culture, you know what I mean?
And he was ahead of its time.
Right.
What he's doing now is normal.
Right.
So he was he was a vanguard.
That gave a outlet to Ben Wallace,
Right.
who played for Detroit, and Draymond Green.
And all the other characters. But even since then, no one has really taken full advantage of being a character.
Right. Like the last one I could think of was AI, like with the tats.
Right.
With the arm sleeves.
Right.
Like he made that popular with the headband.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, and what else did you pick up from
I
the
picked up that Michael's parents really shaped him and his siblings because he was looking for validation from his father because he had other brothers that he had to compete with.
Yes, growing up.
I kind of related to that a little bit.
Yes,
having 2 older brothers and whatnot.
Absolutely.
But he was always looking for his father's affection, and his father's like, yo, you got to hard work. And because his older brothers was into the career that his dad was into, and he kind of just was into sports, it was kind of a little harder for his father to kind of relate. And it shaped him. And then his mom, too, when he got kicked off for something, he's like, no, you need to work over the summer.
Right.
Get stronger, get taller, and
get better.
And get better.
Yeah.
And he did that.
Yeah, no, he did. He definitely
And
did.
It going into his rookie year, who was the head coach? Collins.
Doug Collins.
I asked you, I said, if they hadn't fired him, do you think, because I was looking at the track record, because I'm like, Doug Collins was slowly but surely getting them there.
He was like Mark Jackson of the Warriors.
Absolutely. That's a great analogy.
That is, yes. And then, too, but I was like, so shouldn't Doug Collins have you stuck with him, or was Phil Jackson the right decision? You said because Phil had more
philosophical stuff. Because listen, and I love Doug Collins, great coach. I'm not sure he could have won 6 titles because what Phil Jackson brought and proved it again later.
Right,
See, the Lakers championships was a validation of the Chicago championships.
Right.
I'll explain what I mean. So he brought he had to get into the head of these players.
Right.
And only Phil Jackson, because of his spiritual beliefs, understood that. Once he got into the head of his players and got in the head of Michael in particular, they started winning. So people said, well, he could only win because he had Michael. Then he went to L.A., who was losing with Shaq and Kobe. And he replicated the same thing.
And then he
Why
went
couldn't
to...
he do that with the Knicks? Nobody knows.
And then...
Well, he didn't coach the Knicks.
Sure.
So I don't think... And had the Knicks had a dominant player or two...
Yeah, I mean, they have Melo, but other than Melo...
Right, if they'd have Melo and, let's say, LeBron or somebody else, I think he would have came down...
Would have coached.
Right, but he didn't want to coach a mediocre team.
And... He went to another three-peat with Kobe, Pau Gasol, and Bynum. They just lost to Boston in 08.
Right.
So I've noticed that. And then Scottie Pippen, with his resume on that team throughout his career and that final season, he was number 2 in steals, number 1 in blocks, 2nd on team points. And for you to get that paycheck that you got, but I get it. At the time, it looked... But the GM...
Reinsoff
told him, or the owner, I'm sorry.
Don't take this contract because I'm not going to renew it.
Right. And I get it. It was an 8-year deal. It looked pretty, but when you spread that out.
And then you have to understand what his home life was like.
Yeah.
You know, so
like his circumstances.
You don't know everybody's circumstances.
Right.
So he was a victim of circumstance.
Exactly.
Where Michael came from a well-to-do family.
Right.
And not only that, he was Michael Jordan. And don't forget, Michael Jordan took pay cuts every year. No team would have been able to afford Mike if he would have got his value on the court. So he made most of his money off the court.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
which Scottie didn't do, which he should have done.
Well, he didn't have the same.
He didn't have the same aura that Michael did, and nobody was looking for Scottie.
And I realized throughout the 10 episodes, I was like, yo, Scottie's a great player, and he's probably the best sidekick that you could probably ask for. But his mental state at times was very questionable.
Well, that was questionable before they started winning titles. Remember, he got the migraines.
In Game 7, when they needed him the most.
Right.
He was like, if I don't take the shot, I'm not playing. So I was
and that was even before. I'm talking about before they started winning titles. When Detroit was beating down Jordan and Jordan needed some help.
It was 3-3 and it was a Game 7 and you would think Scottie would show up and then he was like, I blacked out and I had headaches.
Yeah.
And then when he didn't want to take the shot.
Right.
And look,
ultimately,
Phil at that point in time when he asked Scottie, look, I just need you to inbounce the ball to Kukoc.
Yes.
He had 3 championships.
Yes, absolutely.
I know what I'm doing, and Kukoc is a left-hand shooter. I'm throwing on the left-hand side.
Yes, all the technical stuff,
And Kukoc, which I didn't know until later into the documentary, had made 5 game-winning shots
that season.
Yeah.
So numbers say that this is the guy we want shooting the ball. I think Scottie felt, by default, I'm the number 2 guy. Mike is not here, so that should push me.
So I'm number 1. I can live up to Mike,
right?
You know, if you let me.
Which he low-key
did.
did.
Understand
because
he did though.
They went to the playoffs.
Right, they went to the playoffs, and they won what, 55 games?
Yeah, they won a lot of games. So, and I think if they didn't get a bad call against the Knicks,
that was a terrible call.
Then that would have been, something to think about.
And the last thing that I can remember is how Michael was talking about his competitiveness.
Yes.
How he broke that down, I get it.
Yeah, and it's a rare thing.
It's a rare thing. He was like, look, if you are not going to play on the same level as me every single night when I hit the floor, why am I playing with you?
Right. I need you
Why are you even on the court with me in practice, in the film room, and in the actual game?
And because he practiced and played the same way, it wasn't like he wasn't showing up for practice. Like Allen Iverson was like, practice.
Right.
Allen Iverson hung out all night and still gave you 50, but he was a unique energy.
Absolutely.
But Mike is saying, bring the best that you do. If you're a great rebounder,
always put your best foot forward.
Bring your best rebounding ability. If you're a great 3-point shooter.
It's
Bring
because
that.
it goes back to how he grew up. Because he wasn't the best, he had to become the best.
Absolutely.
And I was already like the best.
Yes,
So,
in his neighborhood.
In his neighborhood, in his city, he was already known as the best. So people already had his chips in him.
Yes.
But because Michael was so, quote unquote, bad at the time, and he had to become the best.
No, these are all great points, guys.
Right. Yeah.
So
overall, great series.
Overall, great series. The timing of which it dropped, it was really weird because everybody was talking about the Lakers. We had just talked about the Lakers on the show. The Lakers were winning. Everybody was on the LeBron bandwagon train. Quarantine hit.
But remember
still
too.
talking about the Lakers. And then boom, he dropped it. And then.
But remember, they said he didn't okay it until after LeBron won the 2016.
Yeah,
Exactly,
which was questionable. Like, I mean, you know, that's suspect to me.
Well, why is it suspect?
Because, dude, first of all, you could have dropped this way before that.
He waited until.
But I'm saying you waited until something that's never happened before
Yes.
popped up that wasn't you.
Yes. I think at that moment when he saw LeBron come back from 3-1.
Mind you, you beat a 73-19 because that team ended up breaking your regular season record.
So that triggered him. He was like, this guy is destined for greatness.
Right.
Now, what he didn't know is that the Golden State Warriors would get Kevin Durant and the rest would be
Right.
history.
Now, here's the thing, too. I'm wondering if would he have done the same thing if Golden State had won it that year?
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, that's what I was telling you. No.
Probably not.
Because,
There's no
but then again, they
reason.
broke
There
their
was no
record.
But
They broke their regular season record, so how are you not salty about that?
They were the best team, but the documentary was
all-
revolved around Mike.
Exactly. So I think it was all psychological because he still wants to be known as the greatest of all time. Even
Absolutely.
If he's not playing,
Right.
even if he's not in the same era, because the people who grew up with Mike, they're like grandparents. So
Yes.
They move on that. his
Absolutely.
legacy. And then LeBron's legacy is diminished. So because LeBron's legacy is diminished, his brand is not gonna be the same.
No,
compared to Mike.
it's warfare. It is.
So it's just a warfare to keep his name relevant, so that people keep buying his shoes, people keep all that stuff.
And I would say he did a great job at it.
He did. He was a genius.
With that being said, Fortnite is banned from Apple. This is
Yes.
some nerd talk. Let's have it.
Yeah.
This is video game nerd talk. Even though we've never played Fortnite ever.
Yeah, but we
But-
keep tabs on
Yeah,
it.
we keep tabs, but we never played.
Okay.
So basically, what happened? Epic Games, which is the owner of Fortnite, they went behind Apple's back and they bypassed the server so that when you would purchase their like tokens, their money to like upgrade your player or whatever, you would get it at a cheaper price than what Apple was offering, and all the profits went directly to Epic Games.
Ooh,
Right, so basically-
that's greasy.
Apple would offer what, $9.99?
Yeah, so basically, Apple would offer $9.99 for X amount of tokens, but Fortnite would offer $7.99 with the same amount of tokens.
Right.
And that's basic math.
That's basically
I'm going for the cheaper price.
It's a win-win. We're saving money, but not really. But yeah, they're basically doing that so that Apple would be viewed as the bad guy, right? So
And force
Fortnite-
Apple to either lower their price.
right, or take them out completely, which is they're not allowed to do that because it violates the terms
Of the contract.
of the contract
Right.
that they agreed, and they did that along all platforms, including Google, and that also violates Google.
Wow.
Right, and then
Google's contract.
So this is $1 billion
yeah,
fight.
yeah.
right, and then you had a good point, which was you were saying if they're not on Google or Apple, how are you gonna make more money?
Yeah,
Because
how are you gonna get on your phone
either
regardless?
right. Everybody's
'Cause
either have an
mobile-
Apple or a Google.
Yeah, because mobile gaming is like slowly on the rise.
Right.
Because it's just it's easier to like manage.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with that's how Call of Duty's new version of the Warzone.
yeah, Warzone thing, yeah,
It
Warzone
came
mobile.
about because the mobile game was so popular. So
Right.
they just transferred it.
All they
to
need
the
to
console.
do to figure out the mobile game is just to put it on consoles.
Yeah.
Because not everybody likes to play mobile games because you want a bigger screen.
Exactly. It
And
just
you-
feels more comfortable
Yeah.
on a bigger screen. So basically, because this happened, Fortnite is officially off Apple and Google. And
Wow.
They're gonna lose a lot of money like that. Though.
But people were saying that because the app was even on the phone to begin with, they had some type of partnership, an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at the end of the day, when time progressed, Apple was making more money than Epic. This is why they went behind their back.
Gotcha. Yeah. They figured that was a bad deal we signed.
Right.
We probably didn't know this game was going to be that popular.
No, they knew the game was going to be popping, but because they weren't making the same amount of revenue as Apple, Apple was slowly getting more money.
But I don't think that's fair. If I created the game,
right,
I should be making the most money.
Right.
Apple, your platform is what I'm using it on, so you should get some money too. So without knowing all the logistics, guys, I think I'm a side with Fortnite.
I'm definitely signing with Fortnite
I
here.
think so
Even
too,
though I'm an Apple stan, but and they're not the only app that
has that issue.
That has that issue with Apple.
Ah.
Right?
So now other apps are going to be looking at it.
We only know about this because
it's so big.
Fortnite is so big. And
so now other companies who are smaller than Fortnite but still big are going to do the same thing
and
now.
I was thinking about how can this affect other apps trying to do business with Apple and Google?
Yeah, this is all big issues because they become the monopoly or the bullies on the block, and people don't like a bully. So then they start rooting for the small guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But then it goes back to Eli's point. How are you even going to get the app on the phone? Because Apple owns the phone.
And Google owns Android.
And Google owns Android.
Google's
so how are you even going to get your game on these phones if
Good
you
luck
don't
with that.
agree with the terms that they give you?
So real quick, I have a little story myself. It just triggered something in my head. Sony has this Avengers mobile game coming out for PlayStation and Xbox.
Sony Avengers Mobile, okay.
Right? Right. So then they have DLC packs for the consoles and whatnot.
Is that for the tokens and stuff?
That means that you can download more content.
And more characters and whatnot. Right.
Okay.
So, but Sony made it official that Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, and I believe Hawkeye is exclusively coming to PlayStation.
Okay.
The problem is though, the game is for both Xbox and PlayStation. So you're making it one-sided now.
Yeah. That's been going on for years.
Right, because I heard with another, I think like Street Fighter game, Xbox would get Spawn, the Cube game would get Link, and the PlayStation would get some other character.
Yeah, like PlayStation always got God of War, PlayStation always got Spider-Man, they always got, but Xbox always got Batman, always got the racing games first. So,
but this one's just a little different, just because it's for both consoles. And I'm thinking
you're talking about the same time, because sometimes it's like you get the exclusive for like a few months, and then
this is nerd talk.
Yeah, he's confused.
I have a nerd question.
Go ahead.
I thought the new game systems, I thought if you on PlayStation and I'm on Xbox, can we play each other?
That's a thing.
Yeah,
that's a thing.
And they even converge it with PC. So if you're on the PC side of things, you can play with the Xbox people and the PS.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I'm just saying with the DLC packs, why did you guys make that exclusively for PlayStation members only?
Well, maybe they got a little extra money under the table.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like
that's not fair.
It's not fair because like.
But you're down with PlayStation.
I am down with PlayStation. So I'm low key happy, but I'm playing a little devil's advocate for my Xbox. For my previous Xbox. Like before,
we used to be Xbox.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm being fair.
We still care. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though
So
we
it's
switched to
prime
dark side, we
example.
still care.
He get the same. Me and Freddie get the same game, but he gets the Xbox version. I get the PlayStation. He doesn't get to play with Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Hawkeye.
Aww.
Right. So it's like that's so unfair.
That is unfair.
You know,
But that's life.
But it ain't.
That's life.
Moving on.
Nerd.
So I'm hearing Luis Garcia is the first player born in 2020.
2000.
Early 2000 era.
Oh, 2000 era. I'm sorry. To hit a home run
Yes.
in a baseball game. Cut that.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, I'm saying, wow, I'm thinking, what's the big deal? But then I'm thinking, he's only 20 years old.
Right.
Which means it's a new era for baseball.
Right. Absolutely. So, Freddie, baseball is kind of your thing. So, what does this mean? And then tell me about the guy who had the 3-0 count and hit the home run.
I got you. This is very exciting for baseball because the transition. Now, this is very exciting and like important and pinnacle for baseball, because the transition to the younger crowd is what they're trying to target.
Right.
That's why they did the second man on second extra innings to make it more faster. Right, and they're thinking about reducing from 180 to 120 after this year.
In terms of games.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, 180 to
From 160. It's
162.
162.
I'm sorry,
162 to 120. Yeah.
I still think it should at least be like 80, but go ahead. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because it's a new era, that means they have an opportunity here to market the younger crowd, right? And because of this, the legends that were known as like your era, me and E's era, right? They're still current, but new legends like Juan Soto, like he's already a champion and he's 23. Right? Like Fernando Tatis,
like
Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
All of these younger cats who are becoming the new young and up and coming, and they're in their prime right now. It's very important to market them to the young crowd. So this is a big thing because he's the first one. So that means everybody from the AAA, AA, A teams that make it to the big leagues, they're classified as the new era of baseball.
Ah, okay.
Right.
And everything has to change. So there's always a changing of the guard, and it doesn't always go as easy because old school dudes be mad.
Yeah.
It's like when I used to watch WWE, Triple H used to say adapt or perish.
Adapt,
basically, adapt or perish.
Or perish, and I think that is a good way to look at that.
This is a great way, and then I feel like the players that are coming up now, they're either more intelligent, they adapt to the game a lot faster, they take care of their bodies better.
Because I heard Alex Rodriguez say one time that Torres is really good at the pitch count.
Right.
He's very patient in the box.
To be a young guy.
To be so young and be so intelligent and having such a high IQ, it's like a lot of the old guys are surprised that they're that ready.
That they're adjusting that fast. And in terms of body type, you have a lot of different body types. You have people who are already like beast up. Yeah.
Like swole.
What's the name of this guy's son who plays now? The guy.
Vlad Jr.
Yeah, Vlad Jr.
He's like super swole, super strong. He's like 20.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, how are you this strong? But that goes to show you like the vitamins, the proteins,
right?
The amino acids,
and the advance in technology.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they're a lot body ready, and they can handle the long season that they're about to go against when they're like brought up.
Now, what happened last night with the
3-0 count?
All right. So last night, Fernando Tatis Jr., which is the number one guy right now, leader in home runs, leader in RBIs, probably leader in average. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. They were beating the Texas Rangers like 8-2, whatever. It was a blowout.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He had a 3-0 count.
Do you remember the inning?
Seventh
inning. Okay.
Seventh, eighth inning, bases loaded, right? Whatever.
3 balls, 0 strikes.
3 balls, 0 strike. The pitcher threw him a meatball. He decides to swing, and it so happens to be that his swing was a grand slam.
Okay.
Right after the game, right, and he's swagging out. Boom,
Yeah.
I just hit a grand slam. Boom, boom. It is what it is. After the game, the manager's like, "Oh, that was disrespectful. Blah blah. We're already up. It's a 3-0 count."
Oh, so this is his manager.
No. That's the Rangers.
Oh, the Rangers manager. Okay.
He's like, "This is disrespectful. Blah blah." But I understand it's the game. Whatever.
It's the new game.
It's the new game. Blah blah.
Certain things should never change in the game.
Exactly. So the OGs, on Twitter,
pull them aside or hit them up.
Yeah.
Hit them up. You know what I mean? Boom. They were blowing up his line so hard because he took the swing and he hit the grand slam that he had to publicly apologize on Twitter.
Okay. All right.
In my opinion, if you
Hot
give me the meatball,
hot take.
It's a hot take right now. Give me the meatball.
You're gonna put sauce
I'm
on
swing.
it. Put sauce on that
I'm
meatball.
swing because what do you want me to do? Not swing? I get paid to do this. I'm swaggy. I gotta bring the energy to the game. I'm trying to get more people to look at me.
Yeah,
So like, at a marketing perspective, which is my point of view, I'm all for it. Like, I'm all for it.
I'll raise my hand.
Right?
As an
I'm
old school OG.
I'm not taking it.
I'm with excitement, but the morals and ethics of certain things, and because we do this in Pop Warner. And if we're killing a team, we take a knee and we kind of, you know.
It's the same thing in basketball. If I'm up 30, don't take the last. Don't lay it up.
And you see some guys do that.
And especially if the shot clock is up.
Guys. There's no time limit here. Like,
true.
I still have to. Yeah. All right. Well.
True.
Like you hold on. For my average, for my stats, you want me to take a walk or a grand slam?
Yeah, that's
Taking
true.
a grand slam.
Huh? Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
I lead the lead in RBIs and home runs. I might as well add more to that.
Yeah. I can't argue with that.
Right? So
And I'm
that's my hot take.
I am also with Freddie with the emotion side. Like I'm showing my emotions.
He's young.
I might get hit. Like you said, I might get hit.
Oh, you gonna get hit with
He
pitch.
rocking the big Cubans, which I don't understand why they do that, but it looks cool. But it's not uncomfortable.
But you know what it is? Baseball is trying to be like basketball
Right.
and football. They're trying to add a new generation and excitement. So with that being said, I'm going to agree with Freddie said. Last but not least, LeBron James Space Jam jerseys are available.
Yeah, well, they're not available for sale, but they just popped up.
The teaser. Yeah.
A teaser?
Fire. I think they look better than the original, but that's just my point.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's some hot take stuff.
Now for my
the picture got to pop up right here.
for my early 90s babies, I get the frustration. You grew up with Michael, the Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes is a classic. I get it.
I get it. We get it.
But yeah. Now here's the thing though, and I still agree with this. I still think it should have been Stephen Curry. Just because he's more popular. Understand my point.
I can see that. I can see that.
Now we're talking about my hot take.
Go ahead.
Understand the value of young kids who relate to Curry way more.
Right,
now,
because right.
Currently now than LeBron.
And Curry is the average kid. He doesn't look like a superhero.
He don't look bulk.
Right. So I could see how.
Even when Michael did it, I could understand why kids related to Michael.
Yeah.
Because at that point in time,
And
Michael
like, who else?
was right.
Facts.
But now you got options. I get what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's a little.
But you never know. He might pop up. Because, Michael.
Oh, he might be in the movie.
Oh, yeah. He might be in it, absolutely.
But the same character being,
right.
Steph Curry. I can see that.
Right? But that's just,
But, listen, the color scheme, the little logo
I like
inside,
it.
the Nike.
I like it, yeah.
And did you peep the LeBron logo on the jersey, too?
Ooh, so marketing.
He's coming for Mike.
Marketing
He's
for
coming for
LeBron.
Mike. Crazy.
Yeah. So it should be a good movie. I gotta take my cousins and
to go see it. Yeah.
I gotta watch the first one. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Gotta need a reason to go see that.
And last but not least, the Drake. How y'all feel about the Drake music video? Because everybody was talking about it.
It's video of the year.
I love the video. I love the song.
I do too.
I think Drake has mastered the ability to make songs.
And I realized he also mastered how to make memes because he makes
these memes. Yeah.
He literally he did that on purpose. He's just standing there crying. And then the dude is like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah. He's clever.
And my favorite part was when Marshawn knocked him out.
Yeah.
I just like the whole video. Like my favorite part was the car because that car apparently is like one of a kind Mustang, and then
it was awesome.
I don't know. I have this weird obsession with restoration of cars. So on Netflix they have these.
Cause you be watching Top Gear.
Oh, you watch Top Gear?
Yeah, Top Gear. Okay, they be breaking down cars.
I watch all these car shows on Netflix where they take all these old cars and
build them into new.
Refurbish them.
Yeah.
And it looks really cool, but the car itself looks kind of cool.
And who do you think Drake was taking shots at in this?
Kanye West and
100% Kanye.
Kanye.
Well, yeah, he was taking shots at Kanye, and Lil Durk was taking shots at
6ix9ine.
6ix9ine, clearly.
Okay.
Also, my only critique, and me and you both agree on this, Freddie, he didn't get a baseball star.
Right.
He could have got
Mike Trout. Somebody.
Jose Bautista, or
he could have got Vlad Jr.
From Toronto. Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, I agree.
Like how are you? That just makes baseball look bad, but.
But that goes to show how people feel about baseball.
Right.
So we have to get baseball back on the map.
And also, did the girl in the video, did she actually take all that stuff home?
Ooh, and who was she? Was she like a
she's like an
Instagram
model? But apparently she's like the first one in Snapchat to like really be like she was like the original like Snapchat like model.
Oh, so she's an Instagram legend.
Yeah, Instagram legend.
Yeah.
All right. You know, and she upgraded like her house apparently.
Ooh.
So like that's that Drake.
That's that Drake effect. That's that Drake effect.
Everybody hitting your line.
Right.
Drake, hit us up.
Hit us up, Drake.
Hit us up, Drake.
All right, let's get this thing popping.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
So now let's get to the NBA special. Mm-hmm. We had a tradition of doing this every year when we had
Same
the
thing
old
for, like, NFL.
podcast to wait.
Yeah.
So we want to get this thing started with Monday kicked off the action.
Right.
There was a couple of good games.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. So we had, let's just do it by Eastern Conference.
Western Conference.
And then we'll go to the Western Conference.
Yeah.
We got the Bucks in Orlando. They played today.
And
Orlando won
That's
that
the
game.
second time Orlando beat them in game one, but it ain't going to really matter.
Right. But what's the mindset?
I think they beat Toronto last year, game one.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying against Orlando because what was his name? The point guard. Augustine played out of his mind.
Yeah.
He's low key. I don't know why he's still in Orlando.
And
Go somewhere else.
and the 6'9" dude. I mean 6'9".
Mo Bamba?
No, white boy.
Verigich. He went for 35 today.
Yeah, he went for 35.
He went for 35. Yeah.
He's
So
always been a good player.
Yeah.
always, and he's fundamentally sound. So the question I ask now is, what's the mental mind state of Milwaukee, even though they'll win the series?
Get rid of Chris Middleton, because I saw his stats tonight, and he only had 14. I'm not even laughing. No, seriously, get rid of Chris Middleton. I'm sorry, like get rid of him.
Okay.
Giannis had 35 points, 17 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Like, what
you
else you
only
want him to
have 14 and 4.
And you're the number 2
You're
guy
the number 2. Klay Thompson would never give Steph Curry 14 points.
in a big game like that.
Ironically, it would be the other way around. Klay Thompson would go for 35, and then Curry in the second half would heat up when he would need to.
Or like whenever Curry went off, like whenever Curry was down, Thompson always picked up the slack.
Thank you.
Right. So, but we do have the Bucks winning this series, yes?
Yeah, we do. But this does look good for Orlando. I feel like they're on the come up, like 2-3 more years.
But this is the second time you at 8th seed now.
Yeah, well.
No, but it's still, like, even though they're 8th seed, it's still good that they won a game.
True.
Yeah.
Nobody expected them to
Because you got to remember, teams like Orlando, this is the finals for them.
Right.
So if you win a game, if you win one more game, pop the bottle.
Pop the bottle.
Right.
And then free agents want to be like, they probably got something happen. Like, that's what happened with the Nets last year.
Yes,
right.
yes.
They won, like, a few games.
Yeah.
They got everybody talking.
And they got the appeal. Yeah, they got the appeal of Kyrie and
exactly. They got the
Kevin
appeal of
Durant,
Kyrie. They got the appeal of KD, and this is good for Orlando. Like, who don't want to play in Orlando?
Yeah, Orlando's nice.
Like, I feel for Orlando. Like, I want to be in Orlando right now. But I can't.
Yeah, facts.
Like, who don't want to go to Disney World every week?
But Giannis, you either leave Milwaukee or get rid of Chris Middleton. I'm sorry, because he's not.
Well, I think
he's not the best number 2 you could possibly.
But
have.
let's see how the rest of this series plays out. Let's see how the rest of their run plays out.
But here's the thing, I already have.
How is their defense? Because aren't they like top 10?
They have to make the finals.
But I have his data already. I have enough data on him to know he's not the best number 2 that Giannis can possibly have.
What if they make it to the finals?
That is true. But what if they go finals?
Even if they make it to the finals, I still have either the Clippers or the Lakers beating them.
Okay, but if they make it to the finals, then that means they've overcome Toronto, Boston, and some other teams.
Yeah.
So let's keep an eye on that. But we both have Bucks winning that series in 5.
Yeah, 5.
Maybe 6.
Maybe 6, yeah.
The Raptors smoked Brooklyn, but we're not surprised.
Yeah.
Brooklyn is playing with a whole bunch of rookies.
I did love the ball movement, and because in one sequence, Brooklyn was moving that rock like crazy.
And they were coming back. Like, they came back early fourth quarter. But I started fourth quarter, only down like 10.
Toronto has a great defense. The way that they were chasing the ball.
Chasing the ball from side to side.
I don't know exactly where this is coming from, but a lot of people have been saying Toronto has one of the best defensive teams of this decade. I do not agree with that.
I'm not going to take it that far.
I don't think it's that deep.
No.
Because I'm thinking like Golden State's defense.
Because they've only been relevant for like the last 2 years?
2 years. That's it. That's it.
And Golden State had a better defense
before
than me.
Before that, like LeBron.
And LeBron's team has a better defense.
Yeah, and then let's not get into San Antonio Spurs,
right.
who've always had
defense. Yeah.
Right.
Let's not go that far, but like you know.
So we have a sweep here or a 5-game. Gentlemen's sweep is a 5-game series.
I have a sweep.
Yeah, now I got a sweep, but this is probably good for Brooklyn because they're trying to see who to put around Kyrie and KD.
Yeah.
So whoever shows up,
yes.
Like a lot of people were talking about LeVert.
LeVert's looking good. He's looking good.
Really
also,
good.
Toronto is the team Milwaukee does not want to face.
Yes, absolutely.
So if anything, they better hope either Boston beats them or because there's two teams for me Milwaukee doesn't. It's Toronto and Miami, which we'll get into later.
Yes.
But yeah, Toronto has their number.
Yeah,
okay. And Toronto.
But this is like okay. I understand what you guys are saying about Toronto. But for me, this is more important for Brooklyn to see who's going to stay.
Yes, yeah. So it's an audition.
So I'm looking out more for Brooklyn because I know Toronto's going to win.
Right.
And now Toronto has that championship.
Who runs back on defense?
Exactly.
Right. Who head is down?
Exactly.
Yeah, all of those things.
Who's getting the tough points? You know
right, absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. So then we have the 3-6 matchups. That was the 1-8, 2-7. The 3-6 matchup is the most intriguing. Is Boston and Philadelphia.
Really like I watched most of this game.
Yes.
This game is really important.
And I only say why because
I only watched it because I want to see what Jason Tatum does, and I want to see if Joel can be the number one. Like, is he the guy to keep?
Right, or is Ben Simmons the guy?
Okay. So I understand that now because I was thinking about it. I'm like,
and Philly played well in this game.
Yeah, no,
Philly was up a lot of this game, and then Tatum and Brown.
I was just asking why, just because Ben Simmons was out. So I was like, why is this even?
Richardson played well.
More important because it shows everybody else, and then it shows is Harris a good enough 3?
Right.
And is Horford gonna play a little bit better?
Yes, he has to.
Okay, speaking of Al Horford, why did you leave Boston from Philly? I get now. Me and you have had this debate.
I would say money wise.
Yeah.
Now, me and you have had this debate for years because I always pick. I changed my opinion on this before. Now, but like I've always used to pick championships over money.
Right.
Because I'm like, you can make that up in endorsements, this, that, and the other.
But there are not that many endorsements.
Right.
But by the time he signed, what was the gap between Boston and?
I think it was maybe I'm not sure what the money was.
Right.
But I think he didn't like the way Boston was treating him internally.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
And the gap between Boston and Philly wasn't that big.
It's not that big.
No, it's not that big.
Because Kyrie was leaving. He knew that for sure.
Yes.
And were Tatum and Brown enough to keep him in the race.
And what I'm thinking, too, is the coach is on the hot seat. Brown.
Right.
He's on the hot seat. This is his year.
Right.
Whether, Simmons or not, you need to do something, and Embiid needs to show up.
Yeah. Because like he said, he needs to play better in game 2.
Sorry to cut you, but Jason Tatum played great on both sides of the field.
Yes, he did.
Listen to me, people. If you can afford it, you got to invest in Jason Tatum rookie sports card.
Okay.
Go on eBay.
I'm going to clap that up.
It's really cheap right now, and if it goes crazy, that card is worth like $1,000 to like 150.
Also, the silent killer on Boston is Jaylen Brown.
Yes, he stoic. He just goes about his business.
Because he doesn't need.
I just like how he plays.
Yeah, he reminds me of.
And every time he plays, he reminds me of you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know you guys like know him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, that's our boy.
Yeah. But I was saying he reminds me of an East Coast version of a Stephen and Clay. Meaning, you give Tatum the attention, and then when Tatum needs that backup, Jalen's over there.
Right.
But the key, remember they lost Gordon Hayward for 4 weeks now.
They did.
And he is great in terms of role playing.
Yeah, distracting the defense.
Right. I think, Kemba Walker is going to fill the void Kyrie didn't because of cohesiveness.
Right.
Yes.
He didn't have a big scoring game, but he was good at like his assist numbers were up,
And plus,
and he made the
he
offense flow.
He didn't play that much in the bubble, so it's gonna take him some time.
Right. I think you'll see more from him in the second series when he gets his legs
Right.
up under him. Yes.
Right, and maybe if they play Taco, you never know with these rookies.
You never know.
You never know.
So,
Play Taco.
The last matchup in the East is the Pacers versus the Heat. The Heat took that win today.
Miami is. I said this last week.
Who got the stats on that? Who did what in that game?
Jimmy Butler
scored 26.
Oh, okay.
And,
That's the person I was worried
He
about.
hit the dagger. It was pretty close. He hit the dagger.
Okay.
He locked up TJ Warren.
You got the back score?
Ah, okay.
He locked him up.
It says no data for this team for some strange reason.
I'll pull it up.
He locked up TJ Warren.
Okay. That's what I was concerned about today. Would he pull up? Okay, so he went for 28, 24 for Dragic. The rookie hero played well, 17 and 10 for Adebayo.
Yeah, see,
I'm
they
telling
got.
Adebayo, yes.
He's their dark horse. He's their dark horse. Like, if he plays well, they could go far.
TJ Warren played well for
Indiana?
Indiana. Oladipo, he only played 8 minutes. Was he hurt?
I don't know.
For him to only play 8 minutes, let's hope he's not re-injured. Because if he is, then that means Miami will advance, and then they will face
Milwaukee. And they beat Milwaukee 3-1.
I was kind of upset with Oladipo because I would have like not played and got fully healthy.
Yes.
You know?
So let's hope that he is not injured.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast with Eli, Fredy, and Dad.
So Western Conference, the Lakers and Portland are playing now, so we'll hold that.
Yeah.
Portland seems to be smoking them right now.
What's the score?
29-17.
29-17. Yeah, it's early. But the Clippers and the Mavericks were a great matchup.
Yeah, and I saw what you were talking about. So off the air, he kept telling me, "Yo, you need to watch out for Luka, this, that." Because he was saying Luka knows how to slow down the pace and control everything.
I never noticed that.
I'm watching the whole
But
game,
he does.
and here's the thing. And I hate to say this because it's not really true, but it's true. Luka at this point in time is a better scorer than LeBron.
Yeah.
Because he reminds me of LeBron.
Efficient.
More efficient.
More efficient, right?
At 20 years old.
And I'm watching the whole game go inside. Everybody crowded around him, and it's like, okay, you're either going to give me this layup or I'm going to kick it out. And then every time he cut down to the baseline, he
I
kicked
think
it.
it's weird for you because he's a point guard. Like, if he
Right.
wasn't a point guard,
Yeah, I think
then
it
it would feel like more natural.
Right.
Yes.
But because he's a point guard and he's able to do that,
Well,
I'm like, bro,
it's very Magic Johnson-like.
exactly.
And you have a 7-foot monster in Porzingis, a unicorn,
Right.
who can go off.
And then we had the controversial
Right. That was a bad call.
call in that game.
Now,
That got Porzingis.
I wanted to be competitive, but I'm a fan of Dallas because they're like the underdog.
Yeah.
Right. Who's the Dallas head coach?
Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle did
been
say
there forever.
the first tag was valid because he punched the.
Air, but this is the playoffs. I think some of these refs, if
Yeah,
you're
you
not
gotta cut them some slack.
cut them
man.
some slack, man. The emotion of the game.
Yeah.
And you gotta think about it too. They've been in this bubble for 2 months.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Without
just
their
hated
wives.
you, and now I gotta see you again.
And like we said before, high testosterone.
Yes. So I think
like-
they should let all of that play into it. You agree?
Yeah, like the fact that I played you and I went off, but I didn't win, and then I see you in the hallway, like that's gonna hurt me. I'm gonna feel some type of way.
Right.
Hold me tight. Like I'm not gonna show you I'm mad, but I'm mad inside.
And I did see the stat line with Luka. He had 11 turnovers. Cut that in half, they win that game.
yeah.
Not only cut that in half. Remember, he had 5 in the first quarter.
Right.
So I think
Those
that
are
was
jitters.
jitters.
Yeah.
Once he
His first
calmed
game.
down his first playoff game, he broke the record. 42 points for a debut
In the playoff game.
in the playoffs for a rookie. You got to clap that up. That is amazing within itself, right? I do think Mavericks should have won that game. You got to steal one.
Yeah.
But I think that series is going to go
7, yeah.
7, and I got the Clippers. Portland Lakers. Who do y'all have in that series?
I got the Lakers.
I have the Lakers.
How many games?
I got I want to say 6, but possibly 7 because I
7.
can't count.
I got Lakers in 7.
I have the Lakers in 7.
All right, so we got the Clippers in 7. We got the Lakers in 7.
The only reason why I say 6 is because Portland has a tendency to slow down in the playoffs. Like they're hot.
I think they want this matchup with the Lakers.
But because
So
of
bad.
last year's successful run that they had, they got a little bit more experience, and they have the same squad.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
So they've been far enough.
And now they add Nurkic.
Right, and Melo.
He's the dark horse. Him and Melo could be the dark horse.
Right.
So because of that, the only reason, and because it's the first round, that's why I give them 7.
Yes.
But if it wasn't the first round, it'd probably be 6. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 7.
The Denver-Utah series looks intriguing.
Yeah, that was exciting.
Donovan went for
I didn't
57.
think so. I didn't think it was gonna be that exciting.
Remember, these are division rivals.
Yes.
Right.
And
Because we see them so often play each other, it's like
Right.
but because to me, I think Utah only lost the game because they didn't have Mike Conley. Because Sunday, right before that matchup, he had to get out of the bubble because his wife just had their 3rd child.
Let's clap that up for him and his wife. Hope they're doing well. And because he had extra ball duties,
Right.
where Conley is a maestro with the ball.
And
he understands
Conley can give
pace.
you 30
in a
along
given
with my
night.
57.
Right.
That would have balanced it out.
He's
I think-
like a mini Chris Paul in a sense.
Right. I
Where
think-
like he controls the offense.
I think all of these series in the West are going 7.
Yeah.
I think that Denver Jazz series is gonna go 7.
Yeah.
And the Houston smoked OKC tonight.
I
don't
think that one's
that's
going to
going
go 7.
I don't think
Yeah, I think that one would probably go
go
6.
6 or 5.
Maybe 6. But it's all dependent if Westbrook is gonna come back for this series.
I don't think so.
Do you guys think that's gonna derail Houston or that's gonna get Houston?
That's
out?
going
I
to really
think-
help them out because he
I think
won't have
Chris-
to play into the Lakers series now.
No, but I think Chris Paul and them are going to figure something out and make Harden have to score so much that I think as the series goes on, I think,
Westbrook?
okay, yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Westbrook? Oh, okay.
That's what I'm thinking. So I have all those series.
Gallinari played well.
Yes.
He had 30.
Yes,
And then if
he
you-
did
if-
his job.
If you have Alexandra pop up for one
Yeah.
or 2 games,
Right, and you know Paul is going to show up.
right?
Chris Paul
Right.
eventually. So,
They just got too much into foul trouble. That's
yeah.
why they lost.
And,
So,
hold on, I'm thinking of OKC series. No, I mean, look, it would be good to see the Chris Paul and the LeBron matchup.
well, we won't. Don't worry about that. We'll see the James Harden and LeBron series. Or my dark horse, if I got to pick one team that's going to upset somebody, I think Portland has a chance to upset the Lakers.
Yeah, he's been really worried about the Lakers.
I've been worried because they haven't had enough meaningful games.
Right.
And they're going to lose tonight. And then they're going to go, okay, now let's get serious.
Yeah.
And that's going to, so that'll spark some fire under them.
Listen, the only reason why I'm going hard for the Lakers is because Kobe.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Kobe. Like, I don't care what team it wins.
No,
it has to be
Because I said the same thing. I'm like, look, I picked the Clippers to go to the finals, but after the Kobe thing, and like I can't even picture the Clippers when it's like, look, it is for
like,
the city.
I cannot picture any team winning the championship if it's not the Lakers this year.
Also, they just said that the Lakers will be wearing the Black Mamba jerseys in honor of Kobe.
Yes.
And they said it's been 24 years since the Lakers won a playoff series.
Oh, okay. And Kobe's
Since-
number 24.
Yeah, since Kobe.
Oh, okay. That could all add up.
A little nugget here. The youngest player to ever score 7,000 points.
Okay, you wanna? I have it.
Let me give you the little nugget. So Devin Booker is the youngest guard in NBA history to score 7,000 points, and the second youngest player is Kobe Bryant.
Okay,
And
clap
he's
that
only
up.
23.
Yeah, all these young records will be going to Devin Booker because it's like
And he's been in the league for like a minute now. He's still 23. And that's
Yes.
insane.
So let's get to the Bubble Awards. I don't have too many. I think the
rookie.
I think the
You want?
the rookie was
John Morant.
Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Nah,
Bubble
I'm
and
picking
inside
MPJ.
the bubble.
I'm picking MPJ.
Oh,
Well, is he
oh.
rookie? Well,
No.
technically,
No, technically he is. Technically he is.
Because his
Oh,
first-
oh, yeah,
his
okay.
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
like, year.
Okay, so-
yeah, I can agree with that.
Michael
I can
Porter
agree-
Jr.,
Yeah, I
okay.
can agree with that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because Ja didn't really show up when we needed him to show up
Yeah.
against Portland. And he
Right.
did.
yeah. And they had enough lead that he should have led his team to the playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
Like everything was in your favor, but you didn't take advantage.
Yeah, so I think we all agree named Michael Porter Jr. for the.
And Zion doesn't really count because he didn't really do much. They didn't want to play him. And they fired Alvin Gentry.
They did.
Yeah,
They
I
did.
think
it was like
it was.
maybe you could have given him one more year.
I thought one more year.
But it was probably time.
No, because here's the thing. You had too many. He first of all, he started coaching them in 2016.
And he's an old school coach.
Lonzo didn't show up in the bubble.
Oh, he didn't.
Like, dude, what do you?
I think he wants out of New Orleans or something. I don't think he want no part of the bubble. You know, some guys show up because they don't want to be considered soft, but some guys, because he didn't show up at all in the bubble.
Right.
He was just there.
Right. Now, who is the
most improved player?
Most improved. I'm going to say Devin Booker.
Yeah. See, I can't say that because Devin's been showing up.
True.
It just hasn't been mentioned.
But who's the MVP?
To me, it was Devin Booker.
To me, it was Devin.
So you got the MVP as Devin?
I got
Dame.
No,
I got
because
Dame.
they gave it to Dame, but I'm like, yo, it was Devin. Dude, Devin took that team 8-0.
Oh, and he still didn't make the playoffs.
And it was only because Memphis lost that. I mean, Memphis won that last game.
Yeah.
Well,
Memphis
when you are down 9 games and you win 8,
But still, no. But his thing,
it wasn't in his favor.
But here's the thing: in the 8 games, Memphis lost like 5 games. They only won 3.
did he make the playoffs?
No,
No, he didn't. All right. So Dame did when it didn't look like Dame in them would.
Listen, Dame only showed up because he had to.
And
Like,
yeah,
who else was gonna do that?
Thank you for proving my point.
There we go.
Thank you for proving my point. Because to be honest with you, Portland was struggling. They wasn't struggling, but he didn't really show up until after he missed those 2 free throws against the
61.
Oh my God.
50, 49.
It's a wrap.
Okay, well, no,
point.
it's a thing.
It's
Those
not
are
a point.
after the 2 free throws he
If they
missed.
would have pissed him off,
Is he?
Exactly.
Okay.
Never showed up.
And
Okay.
especially the last game, right before Memphis.
And
Oh,
it was
I'm
only
sorry.
a micro sample
Right.
of what he
Also, I'm
actually could
sorry.
have done.
I remember now. It was the Memphis game too because CJ had a broken back and he had 37 that game.
Right.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Who's playing today?
Oh my God, that's not the point.
Dame is playing tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be my vote. Yeah, I'm gonna vote Dame.
It might be somebody from Miami to be the most improved player. Or maybe Ingram, because Ingram was both.
Yeah,
I
Ingram
would
showed
say
up.
TJ Warren, because
TJ
Warren.
That's who's going to get my...
Or Trent from
From Portland. Them two.
Yeah.
And defensive
people
player?
were saying Luka, but I'm like, Luka's been about
Yeah, defensive player?
I'll probably give it to Rudy Gobert or
I'll probably give it to AD.
All right.
Or AD, yeah.
There you go. Those are our picks. Where can we be reached?
Wait, what about 6-man, real quick?
Oh, I thought we did 6-man.
Nah, we didn't do 6-man.
I mean, I'm giving that to either Lou or
No, Lou, he had the chicken wing.
He
was in
there.
Yeah, he went. Yes.
Chicken wings and an award.
I forgot. Hey, man.
Who came off their bench and played?
He got
well?
dropped 50 in one of these games though. After the chicken wing.
Yeah. But who came off the bench in one of these games?
Off the bench.
I don't even know.
So we'll leave that.
Okay, yeah, we'll leave that.
We'll leave
It's
that.
anonymous.
It's anonymous. So where can we be reached,
We can
guys?
be reached on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Disabled Podcast. Instagram is disabled_is_abled.
Yeah, you gotta blame Instagram for that. We couldn't put it together because
it looked weird. But other than that, it's disabled
Yeah.
on all the platforms.
Be on the lookout for the vlogs. We're working on it, people.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Yes, and the merch.
we
We're
might-
working on
And the
it.
merch.
What we'll do-
Possibly next week, but we're working on it.
Absolutely. And I think we'll put a time date on the vlog. I'm pushing for probably January 2021 because it's just like right there. We'll have more footage.
Yeah.
All right.
And I
Just
guess
getting
it's time.
content, people.
Yeah,
Just
music
getting
and content. We got you.
And with that being said, we out of here.
Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Peace out, people.
Peace out.